Would you like to assist with a theocratic building project? You may see reports regarding branch construction and renovation, or the need for new kingdom halls and remote translation offices. And this may cause you to wonder if you could have a share. Well, that is a wonderful goal. Now, primarily, we need brothers and sisters who have a strong relationship with Jehovah and a willing spirit. Those are the qualities we need. Construction or technical skills can be learned. And strong faith will give us the confidence that if we are invited, Jehovah will make us equal to the task and help us to develop the skills that are needed. And faith will also help us to trust that Jehovah will care for us when our assignment is over. For example, one couple had to give up their apartment and resign from their secular employment to help with a project. Now, they said they did feel some anxiety as the end of their 6-month assignment neared, but they trusted that Jehovah would help them, and help he did. When they returned, they called their former employer. Not only did he offer them their job back, but it was at better terms. And they said that within 1 week of returning back, they had found a new apartment. In another example, the local design construction department invited a brother to work for a few months on a project. Now, at the time, he was working full-time with a major company. He had good benefits, a good salary, a company car, housing. He requested a leave of absence. They denied his request. Our brother decided to take the LDC assignment anyway. He was fired from his job. So what would he do after he completed his assignment? Well, he actually was able to find a part-time job that has allowed him to stay in full-time service. And now he is a pioneer. He and his wife are pioneers, and he's serving as a remote volunteer for a branch construction project. And similar stories are repeated over and over. Jehovah foretold that during these last days, a great crowd would worship him acceptably. And the fulfillment of that prophecy has created an urgent need for more kingdom halls, assembly halls, branch facilities, remote translation offices. Now, we understand that the pandemic has limited theocratic building projects to some extent at this time. However, there is still much work to do now and on into the future. So if assisting with a theocratic building project is your goal, you can be confident that you too will become powerful by faith. Take that leap. You will enjoy Jehovah's support and many, many blessings.
Sorry, I just can't resist putting a picture of you two whenever they say you two. It's just my sense of humor. You must forgive me. But we here have Robert Lucioni, who is a helper to the publishing committee. He is giving the symposium item, Enter the Door to Activity and Faith, assist with a theocratic building project. And clearly his brief is to persuade Jehovah's Witnesses in the audience that they might want to consider helping the governing body build stuff. What is it with this religion's obsession with building? I mean, I can remember, quick builds being a thing when I was a Jehovah's Witness. And obviously they would have building projects involving branch facilities that were built with volunteer labor. They would bring in, obviously, free labor to get this stuff built. It was clearly a thing when I was a Jehovah's Witness. But never before have I seen such a focus on this. This seems to be increasingly becoming, more of a property company where they're obsessed with building things. Apparently, Jehovah is some celestial property entrepreneur, and he needs his followers to help him expand his portfolio. Since when was God so reliant on stuff being built? In fact, isn't there a verse that says that God doesn't dwell in buildings? Here we are, Acts 17, verses 24 and 25. The God who made the world and all the things in it, being as he is, Lord of heaven and earth, does not dwell in handmade temples, nor is he served by human hands as if he needed anything, because he himself gives to all people life and breath and all things. That was a verse that sort of resonated with me as a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, why does God need stuff? When you look at all other religions, when you look at, say, Catholicism and the grandeur of the Vatican, it's obvious that human religions are obsessed with amassing wealth and amassing property. It's been going on for centuries, going right the way back to the 1st century, as Paul is commenting here. So you would think that Jehovah's Witnesses, aspiring to be pure worship, aspiring to be the one and only true religion, they would distance themselves from this idea that, oh, we absolutely need stuff. We absolutely need bricks and mortar. We need real estate. We need assets that we can control. This is all very human, isn't it? It's got human fingerprints all over it. And yet Jehovah's Witnesses are being asked to mobilize for this building project to the extent where they're being encouraged to give up their jobs. They're giving examples of two, one a couple, one an individual on his own, an individual volunteer. He gives 2 examples of Jehovah's Witnesses giving up their jobs to increase and expand the governing body's property portfolio, which is, if you think about it, reprehensible. It's, again, putting the needs of the organization ahead of the needs of individuals. And he can point all he likes to success stories, but that's not like a guarantee, is it? I mean, I'm sure if you were to sacrifice your job and go and build something like a branch facility, and then you were to go back to your employer and say, can I have my old job back, perhaps on better terms than before? And if your employer were to say, get lost, you couldn't then phone up Robert Lucioni and say, excuse me, Robert Lucioni, you indicated in your talk that I would be blessed. It's not going to work that way. What's happening here is Robert Lucioni is very clearly cherry picking in a very manipulative way success stories that help him with his agenda, help him with this narrative of recruiting people to build stuff. And he'll be ignoring, I'm sure, the cases where it hasn't gone so well and where Jehovah's Witnesses have been worse off, financially and otherwise, as a result of sacrificing everything just so the governing body can have stuff built for them.
In the following video, note how Sarah found the courage to assist in a theocratic building project.
Hi, darling, we're back.
When I learned I was invited to work for a few weeks on the upcoming construction project, I was thrilled. But that excitement quickly turned into anxiety because of what I had to do. I prayed to Jehovah for weeks to give me the strength to have the conversation with my employer.
All right, Sarah, come in. So?
I wanted to first of all say thank you for taking it. I began to explain about the construction project and how I'd been invited to volunteer. I really like the time to...
So you want time off during the busiest time of our year?
Well, yes, but...
It's your choice, but under no circumstances will I hold your position.
Suddenly, this beautiful privilege felt like a huge risk. Was I making my life more complicated by doing this? I read the account about the people in Nehemiah's day. their willing spirit demonstrated faith, and Jerusalem's walls were built by people who put their heart into the work. I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to serve Jehovah in that way. This is my resignation letter. I had to have faith that Jehovah would bless my decision. I'm not sure what the future holds when I get back, but I know Jehovah will take care of me. For now, I'm going to focus on putting my heart into the work.
Isn't this manipulative? They're not just reading anecdotes of nameless people who've quit their jobs and everything's gone well for them. They're also showing highly produced propaganda dramatizations, encouraging Jehovah's Witnesses to do this with absolutely zero guarantee that things will work out for them. And how can there be any guarantee? Again, Robert Lucioni before was cherry-picking the stories where it went well. Goodness knows how many Jehovah's Witnesses have quit their jobs for building projects and been far worse off as a result. But never mind that, here the governing body are producing a dramatization encouraging Jehovah's Witnesses to be this reckless with their careers. And if you happen to be a Jehovah's Witness watching this, because I realise some Jehovah's Witnesses do watch my videos, just think about what all of this is for. This is literally to build real estate. This is to build stuff out of bricks and mortar. This is to pour concrete. This is to create a physical asset that will be of use to an organization and, most importantly, is resellable, so that this girl, for example, could quit her job to go and work on one of these construction projects. They could build, I don't know, a kingdom hall or an assembly hall or a branch facility, and then there's nothing stopping the organization from just a few months or years later saying, actually, we're going to sell this. So that it ends up being, I don't know, a Burger King or a gym or a hotel. Who knows? Nothing is stopping the organization cashing in on this free labor, and look at what people are expected to give so that they can do this. They are expected to put their careers on hold, to put themselves in financial jeopardy, all so that the governing body can have more buildings.